Hi everyone, it is time for a new video, and today I'm finally doing my 23 books to read in 2023 video. I know it's a little late. I am actually still filming it in January, but it is going to go up in like the first 2 weeks of February. I feel like these videos are really fun, and this year I really want to actually try to read them. And so I want to, do some reading vlogs connected to this and whatever. So we're doing it today, and I have 23 books. I hope I counted right. I have 3 piles. 23 is a lot. But as I'm filming this, I have actually read around 20 books, so like, I can do this, I can fucking do this. I'm not the best at sticking to TBRs, but I am going to finish all these books this year. If not, I don't know, like nothing's gonna happen, but I really want to do this. So I did also upload a video where I talked about my 5-star predictions. I do think all these books in this video should be different ones, so like I want to extra challenge myself to, read both the 5-star predictions and all the books in here. If there might be like one book repeated or something. We have quite a mix of genres, and I'm just very excited, so I'm gonna shut up and let's just get into all these books. Okay, let's start with the pile here next to me. So the first book that I have here is this absolutely beautiful historical romance, which is One Fine Duke by Lenora Bell. Love this cover so much, and this is one that I got last year. I just didn't get to it. I do really want to read it in the spring. Like, I just keep imagining, reading this in like a park under like a cherry tree, and it is just like a lovely thought to think of reading this, when I'm surrounded by actual flowers as well. I don't know, it's just like, I love this. I don't know any details about it. I am probably not going to really tell you the synopses that much in this video because there's a lot of books. I don't want it to be super long. As you might know, I don't really look at synopses, especially not when it comes to authors that I love, and I love Lenora Bell, and I cannot wait to get to this. So then we have a book I actually haven't really heard anyone talk about, but I randomly ran into it and I added it to my TBR and I recently got it, and that is The Orchid Throne by Jeff Kennedy. I don't know anything about this. It's supposed to be an adult fantasy romance. And it is a series. This says that it's a captivating and sensual fantasy romance you won't want to miss. So hopefully it's going to be really good, because there's never enough, good fantasy romances. Then I have another historical romance. We are on track, because I did already start this one. And that is Heartbreaker by Sarah McLean. This is the sequel to Bombshell, which I absolutely adored. And this, I'm definitely going to be reading this one like within the next few weeks, because like I'm so excited about it, and at least there's one book we're going to be reading from this video. But yeah, this series has like really badass heroines who do like crimes basically, but the kind of crimes that are like for a good purpose, and it's just really fun and just like really adventurous and wonderful. The romances are so good. I love Sarah McLean. If you are looking for like new historical romance authors to read and you haven't read Sarah McLean, you have to pick up this series and all her books. Then I have a book that I read already many years ago, and I just recently got a copy, and I absolutely want to do a reread. That is actually one of my goals for this year, that I want to let myself reread more. And what a great step, and I felt like adding it in here is like, it's gonna give me another excuse to pick it up and actually read it, and that is A Prince on Paper by Alyssa Cole. This is one of the books in the Reluctant Royal series. Absolutely love that series. It's one of the first romance series that I ever read, and this was my favorite one, and so I got it, and I do think I would love to read all the books again, but I couldn't really buy all of them right now, so we're gonna be reading this one, and I'm very excited. If you like royal romance, you have to pick up this series. Alyssa Cole is an incredible romance writer, and this is just, such a classic, and I can't wait to dive in again. Then I have I Like You Like That by Kayla Gross, which is this absolutely stunning contemporary romance. It's also adult, and this is a bodyguard romance where the heroine is a rock star and the hero is her estranged best friend, and he's gonna be her bodyguard. Like, all these tropes, absolutely hell yeah. And it's also quite a short one, so I need to read this as soon as possible. I'm so excited. Then I have this absolutely beautiful book, which I'm gonna do, by Avery Flynn, which I also did start as well, and I actually got to page 72. So we're also, we're making progress already. We love to see it. And this is actually a paranormal romance where we have our hero who is like, his family is like a type of witches that are really kind of dangerous. They have powers that, you know, are really powerful. And so a lot of the people in like the government or, you know, are really afraid of it. And then we have our heroine who supposedly doesn't have any magic, but right at the beginning pretty much we start finding out that maybe she actually does, but she's never known about it in her life. And yeah, the writing style is really playful and lighthearted, and I think it's gonna be a super fun and funny paranormal romance, and so we're definitely reading this as well. Then I have another absolutely stunning book, and that is The Decoy Girlfriend by Lily Vale. I love this cover so much, and I love books about celebrities. I want to read more of them. I started talking about that last year, and it is definitely a thing that I want to do this year as well. And so this is about our heroine, who is an author, and she looks exactly like an actress, like a famous actress, and she basically fake dates this guy, but in like this in place of the actress in a way. Like, she's pretending to be the actress and also pretending to date this guy and they're gonna fall in love. So obviously it's a bit of a complex, complicated fake dating story, and I am super excited for it. Then I have the most hideous cover of this video which is Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. I am so excited for this book. This came out in 2021 and I was waiting to be able to get the US cover because, like, I despise this cover. Like, you know, what a problem to have, but like, I just hate it so much. And then it was just kind of like on sale and I was so desperate to read it. So we're gonna be reading it and I am super excited. And the spine is pretty. So I will be reading this. I can't wait anymore. So we will be reading it very soon. Then I have another stunning book, and that is Luck and Last Resorts by Sarah Grander Ruiz. So this is another adult contemporary romance, and it's supposed to be, I think, second chance. And I don't know if it has like a boat or sea setting. Yeah, oh my gosh. So it's gonna be set at a super yacht. So that is really fun. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever read a book set on a boat. So this cover just gives me the most amazing summer sea vibes, and I love second chance romances, so I'm very excited for this one. Then I have another super exciting paranormal romance, and that is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sanju Mandana. I have heard amazing things about this book, and I just know this is going to be one of my new favorites, and I cannot wait to dive in. So it is a paranormal romance, and it's supposed to be about found family and loneliness and finding love and like all of those things, and I just know I'm going to adore it, and so we're absolutely reading this as well very soon. Then I have a bit of a random historical romance, which I actually bought secondhand at a random store last year in the summer, and that is My American Duchess by Eliza James. And I have not really read that many books by this author. She's not like my go-to historical romance author, but I haven't actually tried that many. And this book had some great reviews, but I feel like if I put it on, I need some extra motivation to read this, I feel like. Because while I think I'm going to hopefully enjoy it a lot, it is not really on the top of my TBR because I have so many historical romances by authors that I already love and, you know, like new releases that I'm super excited to read, and I feel like I would procrastinate on this book for a long time, even though it has potential to, you know, be amazing. And so we are going to be reading this. Then I have another book that I've heard a lot of people talk about, and that is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, which is supposed to be like a cozy adult fantasy romance. And I am so excited. I have heard such great things and it just sounds like exactly what I want, and so I recently found it at the bookstore and I had to get it, and you know, we're gonna read it. So then I actually have two nonfiction books. Who am I? So I don't want to set a strict goal to like read more nonfiction or whatever, but I would like to. Because like I actually used to read nonfiction quite a lot and I haven't really, and I feel like I need some guidance and inspiration. And nonfiction is, you know, such a great like way to do that. And so I have Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, and I do actually have another book by Dolly right there. So I would love to read both of these, but you know, we're gonna start with this one, which is like a memoir that's supposed to be just really like inspiring and like eye-opening and whatever about, you know, all kinds of things. Not just love, but like also love in like every single way. And I don't know, I feel like it's just gonna offer a lot of like cool new perspectives. and I would just love to have that experience. And yeah. And the other one is the Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. So this is actually my sister's copy that she let me borrow, and it is signed by John Green, which is so cool. And so I actually do also have the audiobook, and so I want to listen while I read. It is quite a long audiobook, even though like the book is not actually that long, but I think that once again, like, John Green has so many like cool perspectives on the world, and this is just supposed to be like about humanity and just kind of give you some hope about the world in the way that it is today, and I feel like we all need that. So I really want to get to this. Then I have a YA fantasy book, and that is This Wicked Fate by Kailyn Barron. So I loved Cinderella is Dead by Kailyn Barron, and then this is the sequel to This Poison Heart. I didn't really enjoy This Poison Heart as much as I liked Cinderella is Dead, but I had to get this book as well because this cover is beautiful, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna enjoy this a lot more than the first book, because I feel like, you know, it already set up like all the things that are gonna happen. The like magic in this is really cool, and like I just want to give it a try. So even if it's not gonna be like, you know, the best book I've ever read, I want to read it. And yes. Okay, we're on to the last pile. So I have selected poems of Emily Dickinson here. This absolutely beautiful edition, which is by the Fall River Press. It's also, it looks like it should be like a Barnes & Noble edition. So I don't know if this could be found at Barnes & Noble. I actually found it at a random bookstore in Prague. But I want to actually collect all of Emily Dickinson's, well, not all of them, but you know, a lot of editions of Emily Dickinson's poems, and this is the one that I have. And so I don't want to, you know, it's obviously not exactly a book that I want to just like read in one sitting, so I would just like to like read it throughout the year and finish it at some point. And it is just so beautiful, and I just like, while I don't think classical poetry is fully for me, it just doesn't like work in a lot of cases. I want to read Emily Dickinson's poems because I feel like they're just really beautiful. Then I actually have another nonfiction book, and that is Notes on a Nervous Planet by Matt Haig. So I read the other book that's like kind of the similar format, the Comfort Book by Matt Haig, in the fall, and I absolutely loved it. It is just like little snippets and like short things about like different themes, and this one was just about like, you know, finding comfort in the everyday life and dealing with depression and like all kinds of things, and it was just really meaningful and wonderful, and I loved it. And it's also really easy to read because of the format, and so I got this and I really want to read it. It's kind of supposed to be like similar to that, but maybe focus a little bit more on the world that we live in. Like I said with the John Green book, you know, I feel like we always need a whole full perspective. So I'm excited for that. Then I have another historical romance, and that is Waiting for a Scot Like You by Ava Lee. So I want to do a video where I read books set in Scotland, and I don't know if I want to do like books set in Scotland and then a different vlog that's like Highlander romances. But I live in Edinburgh, if you didn't know, and like I originally wanted to do this video because I was going to move out, and then I didn't have time, and then I didn't actually move away, and yeah, but whatever. We're gonna read it for that video, and I'm very excited. I love Ava Lee, and this cover is really cool. There's actually a castle in Edinburgh that looks so much like this, which, like, you know, I want to go to that castle and like read it there. Like, how epic would that be, you know? Then I have Flirting with Forever by Cara Bastone. I love Cara Bastone so much. I discovered her books, I don't know if it was like 2 years ago, and this is a series that, is this the last book that I have in that? I think this is the last book that I have in that series. Her books are so emotional and beautiful and romantic and sweet and meaningful, and I bought this last year, or maybe even the year before, quite a while ago at this point, and I just really want to get to it. So then I actually have 3 books by Lorraine Heath. So the first 2 I have here are in one series, but this is the first book, and this is the 5th book. So I am mentioning it in here, but mainly the goal is to read this book and then read the 3rd book, because I actually read the 2nd book first. So I only read the second, and I want to collect the whole series and finally read it in order. And so I want to read the second and then the third, but I don't have the third yet because it wasn't available. So I have this because that was kind of like the only one available for now. But I mean, technically I'm saying that I want to read this one and the third one, but I would also just love to read the entire series this year. So, you know, but for any vlog purposes, the main goal is to read the third one, but that is that. I love the series so much, and I love Lauren Heath. And the other Lauren Heath book is her latest release, which is The Return of the Duke. And I am absolutely also going to be reading this because, again, I love Lauren Heath. She's one of my favorite authors. And so we're finally moving into the last book, and I actually am really proud of myself because I've managed to do this really fast. But sorry if I didn't give you like any details, but last but not least, I have The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. So yes, I still have not read this. I might have had it on my last year's video of this type. I mean, you've probably heard about this book. I have heard about it many times before, and I bought it a while ago. And now the second book is out as well, and I still have not read this, but I actually think I'm really gonna love it. One of my biggest goals also for this year is to read more fantasy, so this is most certainly gonna be one of them. So these are the books that I will be reading this year. I'm going to read them and I'm gonna vlog about it. I have already been making so many vlogs, and I have actually read already quite a few books that I like wanted to read this year. But I obviously did not feature them in here because I already read them, and like it wouldn't exactly be challenging, you know, after that if I already read it, you know. Let me know what books you want to read the most this year, and yeah, if you made it this far in the video, leave a clock emoji down below. I don't know why, it just like crossed my mind. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!